Good day, dear learners. I hope you are all doing great. Once again, this is Teacher Joy Ledesma Domingo from Bagao National High School. Get ready yourselves as we embark on another learning episode in Practical Wizards 2. Of course, as we begin this lesson video, I want you to keep in mind the following objectives. First, be able to define what is research design. Second, distinguish the types of research design. And lastly, identify the appropriate research design based on the given research title. So let's start with a very short activity. Let's try this. Can you form the word? The given letters are N, E, I, D, S, G. I'll give you time to think about it. Now let us reveal. Were you able to form the word design? Well, that's great if you did it. Did you ever experience designing a project? What about designing your own room? I am sure you did. Isn't it that when we design something, we plan on how we would like it to appear? Surely, you could relate to me when I say that just like designing your project or your own room, a research also needs design. And it is commonly known as the research design. Research design is a framework for planning your research and answering your research questions. When we say framework, it is the backbone or the basis in planning your research. Creating a research design also means making decisions about the type of data you need, the location and time scale of the research, the participants and sources, the variables and hypotheses, the methods for collecting and analyzing the data. When we say type of data you need, you must be able to define, when planning the research design, what are the data that you will be needing in order for you to be able to answer the research questions. In planning for the research design, you also need to know the location and the time scale. When we say time scale, what is the duration of your study and when should you start and when should you end it? And then the participants and sources should also be clear. The participants should be identified as early as planning the research design in order for you to decide on where will you locate them, how many of the participants will you also be including in your design or in your study. And then the variables and hypotheses. It is good that you plan what hypothesis would you want to answer. And then the methods for collecting and analyzing the data. Research design will tell you what method will you be using in gathering your data, whether you will be using questionnaire, interview, observation, focus group discussion, or survey. And the method of analyzing the data means the statistical method that you will be employing. There are actually 5 types of quantitative research designs. So these are descriptive, comparative, correlational, true experimental, and quasi-experimental. Let us discuss each type one by one. The first one is descriptive research design. This design is attempting to describe the situation or case. It is theory-based design method created by gathering and presenting the collected data. When we say descriptive, its goal is to describe the data by using percentages, means, or averages, and they are usually presented in graphs or tables. Example is personality traits of senior high school learners in Bagao National High School. The general objective of this study is to describe the perceived personality traits of SHS learners in BNHS. And so the type of data, of course, given by the title is the personality trait, which is considered as a nominal data. The location of the study would be in BNHS and the participants are the SHS learners. Another type of quantitative research design is the comparative. Comparative examines the patterns of similarities and differences across a moderate number of cases. In this particular research design, there must be two groups of respondents or participants whom you are going to compare and look into their similarities or differences. Example is personality traits and academic performance of senior and junior high school learners in BNHS. The objective is to investigate the differences on personality traits and academic performance of senior and junior high school learners. Based from the given title, we could see that the type of data you will be needing are personality traits and nominal data and academic performance, which is an interval data. The location could be in BNHS and the participants are, we could see that there are two groups, the SHS and JHS learners. On the other hand, another type of research design is correlational. This type of design establishes a relationship between two closely connected variables. There is no assumption while evaluating a relationship between two different variables, and statistical analysis techniques calculate the relationship between these variables. Example is distance learning modality and academic performance of SHS students in the municipality of Baggao. The objective is to investigate on the relationship of distance learning and academic performance of SHS learners. The type of data, of course, are these two variables, distance learning modality and academic performance. Location could be in the municipality of Baggao and the participants are the SHS learners. Now take note that the two variables you are trying to test, their relationship is the distance learning modality and academic performance. Another type of quantitative research design is the true experimental design. This can establish cause and effect relationships, and there are three criteria that must be met in order to be considered as a true experimental design. First, there must be control and experimental groups. Second, the variables must be researcher manipulated, and there is a random assignment. Example is effect of temperature on academic performance of SHS learners in Baggao National High School. The objective is to investigate whether temperature has an effect on the academic performance of SHS learners. Again, the type of data you will be needing here, we have the temperature as an independent variable and the academic performance as the dependent variable. The location could be in BNHS and the participants are SHS learners. Now take note that you could select randomly the SHS learners. When we say random selection, you need not to choose who your participants are. As long as they are SHS learners, they are qualified to be participants in the true experimental study. Lastly, we have the quasi-experimental research. This design possesses all the features of a true experiment except the random selection of participants. It involves selecting groups upon which a variable is tested without any random pre-selection process. Example is TikTok instructional videos and BNHS students' performance in classical music production. The objective is to investigate whether TikTok instructional video is effective in improving students' motivation in classical music production. Take note again that the independent variable here is the TikTok as an instructional video, and the dependent variable is the performance in classical music production. The location could be in BNHS and the participants are SHS learners. Now, what you can do in here to make it really different from that of a true experiment and to make it appear as a quasi-experimental is that you can choose purposively your participants. You can have two groups, the experimental group and the control group. In the control group, you may not use instructional videos using TikTok, while in the experimental group, use the TikTok instructional video. Alright, I hope you're still doing great. You have just known the 5 types of quantitative research designs and the sample research title in each type. Now, you might want to get a pen and try doing this. Let's do this. Identify what research design is applicable in the given research titles. You can choose from descriptive, comparative, correlational, true, experimental, and quasi-experimental. Are you ready? Okay, let's proceed. Number 1. What is the research design in this title? Readiness of grade 12 learners in BNHS to the modular distance learning modality. The general aim is to determine the readiness level of grade 12 learners in using the modular distance learning as a modality. What did you answer? The correct answer is descriptive. Number 2. What is the research design in this title? Relationship of organizational culture and teachers' motivation at Bagao National High School. The general aim is to prove whether there is a correlation between organizational culture and motivation of teachers at Bagao National High School. What did you answer? Okay, if you answered correlational research design, then you got it right. Number 3. What is the research design in this title? Academic performance of BNHS students using online and modular distance learning modality. The general aim is to determine whether academic performance of BNHS students using online modality is different from students using modular modality. Did you answer comparative research? Then you got it right. Number 4. What is the research design in this title? Banana peel as an alternative vitamin A. The general aim is to test the effectiveness of banana peel as an alternative vitamin A. What is your answer? Did you just answer true experimental? Wow, you are great. You are really good. And lastly, number 5, what is the research design in this title? The effect of language remedial program on the reading comprehension of students at risks in BNHS. The general aim is to determine whether language remedial program is effective in improving the reading comprehension of students at risks. What is the answer? The correct answer is quasi-experimental. I hope you got all the items correctly. So, may we just have a recap of what we have discussed for this particular episode. Bear in mind that research design is a framework for planning your research. It entails knowing the type of data needed, the location of the study, time scale or duration of the study, the participants to be involved, the hypothesis, and the data analysis. And there are types of research designs. These are descriptive, correlational, comparative, true experimental, and quasi-experimental. I hope you learned something today. You're now ready to design your own research and share what you have learned today about research design to your classmates and groupmates. Do not forget to share and like this lesson video, and you can throw your messages or your queries in my messenger account, Joy Ledesma Fabros Domingo. And so once again, good day everyone. Thank you.